Right, so this is the release video for Studio 2.0. I'm really excited about this release. It's been a lot of work over, well, the whole of this year so far. And there's still a lot more to do and features we want to add and improvements and expansions, but this is a really important update to how Studio works. And I'm introducing libraries. So if you've used Studio up until now, you'll be familiar with the theme concept, and you might have used some of our template sites, and they all run off different themes. And the problem with that is you end up managing multiple code bases all over the place, and it's just very hard to keep on top of, and you don't really gain anything over time. There's no best practice, there's no library growing in size, and also AI has to learn every time you start from scratch. So with this, we now have an area. This will say Studio Libraries when the release happens. This is a staging version before the release. So when you go to Studio Libraries, you will then, if you install one of our templates, you will see one here called StudioKit. Now, StudioKit is a library and it is a template in Marketplace. What it is it's this big collection of CSS, best practice, layouts, everything that we spend a lot of time on pulling together into kind of a best practice way of building sites. It's all built with Tailwind 4, but we've built a lot in there, including things like animation. So you'll see here, this is a front end homepage that we've done and put together. But you'll see there's animation built in, and there's a lot of different sections and types of content, which I'll show in more detail. But StudioKit will be available immediately as a site template. So you can just literally go to Marketplace and you can create a site copy of this whole site, this whole demo, or you can install Studio onto a site and then add this as a library. So when you go to new library, we will be removing the old ones pretty soon. Obviously, there will still be some overlap with things like Flowbyte. We want Flowbyte sections to be accessible, but you shouldn't need a whole new library for that. So you should only need the StudioKit library, which you can install. So assuming you've got it installed either by doing the site copy from Marketplace or from installing it here, you can then click into manage. Now the big difference is we've overhauled this whole area. So you used to just have the themes tab, which was essentially this, where you could manage colors, fonts, custom CSS, Tailwind variables. Variants is a new feature we'll talk about a little bit. But yes, now the theme sits inside the library, which means you can switch themes. So if I click this, we're now looking at mono. So it will look similar because the sections are the same, but you'll see that everything's been updated to use the different theme, which is obviously color changes. It can be font changes, but it can also be any CSS changes. So you'll see here square buttons. You might see bigger text. You might see all sorts of things that change in your theme, totally disconnected from the from everything else, essentially. So you have total control over this. Now, you can also make any theme default. Now, if you hit this, so if we just go back, we've got this site all in blue. This is the agency theme. Just called it that. You can do whatever you like with it. You can change it and change all the colors and everything. But with the mono theme, if we click make that default, that's going to save. Then if we go to the front end, that page is now running that theme. And it is that simple. You can always switch out a theme with one click. Very soon, you'll also have the ability to run multiple themes across a site. So basically per template, you'd be able to pick which theme you want to use. By default, it will set to use the default theme. So any templates would use the default theme, but you'll be able to override that and say, no, I want mono on this template and agency on another. So you can manage themes. If you go to the themes area, you'll see any themes you have. You can create new themes. There will be ones you can install soon, but currently you can create a blank theme. And that will look very similar to mono. It's kind of a mix of the two actually, but it's just the base CSS that we're setting up, and you can then do whatever you want with. So there's a lot to demo, so I'll try and do it quickly, but the preview area as normal, you can just preview different pages. At the moment, we've got 2 pages. If I quickly show you mono, we'll look at it properly separately. So this is a completely different page with completely different sections that make the site look completely different. So the whole idea here with libraries is you can run basically any site and any design from this one architecture just by changing the theme and by changing the sections. And for sections, you just create them. You can get AI to create them. You can import them. You can do whatever you like. They're just HTML, and you can do whatever you want with those. So essentially, you can run anything off the same library. You shouldn't need any other library other than StudioKit. This is being open sourced by us. You'll be able to do whatever you want with it. You could fork it and add to it. You could just use it as is and get all our updates, or you could start from scratch and create your own library. You might want to use Flowbyte on its own, or just pure Tailwind, whatever you want to do. I'm sure somebody will be doing a Bootstrap version as well. I just would say that nowadays you're going to find limits with Bootstrap. Like everything with AI and everything generally is set up for Tailwind because it's just so easy to work with, but you're cool. So yeah, you can preview different pages and preview a different theme with that page as well. So you just switch that back over. It's telling you that this this page uses mono, so we're looking at it with a different theme on it. And again, it's the mono sections, but with the agency theme and styling. Next up, we've got a settings area. So here you can control just general information, really. You've got head as usual and scripts. We've taken that out of the theme and put it into the library. Then you've got categories. So previously these were predefined by us. You can now take control over these, add new ones, edit them, do whatever you need. And then when you're in section library, you would see all of them here as normal, but yeah, you've got control over these and what sits within them. But we've now created 2 new ways to filter content as well. So we've got collections. This is more for when you want to like group stuff together based on maybe a site or the kind of different templates and types of website we've been looking at. So mono being different to StudioKit, and also having like the whole Flowbyte free library in there as well. So you can just create a collection, you save it, and then I'll show you in a second how to apply it. Exactly the same with tags. You could create a tag to do whatever you want, really. And that might be so later on we'll have user role permissions on all of this, but on tags you might use it to kind of control what a client can see or what a marketing team can see, for example. They're just a little bit more flexible. So sections, no real changes here other than that if you go into a section and you go to details, you've now got category, which is obviously from your list that you can control. You've got collection, again, from the list you can control. And you've now got tags as well. So if you had any tags, you could select them there. So when we go back and look at section library, you'll see here we've also got collection. So we can filter down just to see the mono ones. We could see just the Flowbyte free ones, or we could see just the StudioKit ones. So hopefully this is a really useful way of helping organize things, but also helping customers know what they should use, what they can use, especially once we've got user roles on them. Obviously we've got dynamic sections as well, so that means that essentially out of the box with this you've got a fully working, well, you can build a site with no code. You can create static sections which you can map data to, or you can insert dynamic sections as well for things like forms, e-commerce, blogs, whatever it might be. You've got control over that. So what else do we need to take a quick look at? So no other changes other than we've moved snippets and global fields to sit up here, but this whole UI is now much cleaner and much clearer in terms of what goes where. You've got a lot at the library level, and then you've got just the sort of styling theme stuff at the theme level. Let's have a quick look at templates. So as always, you can control the template in Studio as well. This will be updated very soon to show library and then theme. So you'll pick the library, which would be StudioKit in this case, and then the theme might be StudioKit. It will probably be default, and what we're going to recommend, well, what we're going to do is set it so that it's default unless you change it, which means that for anybody not running multiple themes, you'll never really worry about that, and you your site will update automatically when you edit it, like I showed you here in the themes, in the themes area. So if you change your theme to one that's not default and click make default, that would update as long as your template is set to default. So yeah, no other changes there, I don't think, to highlight at this stage. Let's just quickly look at a page again. So if we just go back here. So this page, we're going to keep updating this template and add in more and more functionality, but this has been designed to show the two different designs and ways of building a site. So we can just switch to mono, and you'll see how different that is. It's got this style here, all fully customizable and editable in Studio, all mapped and connected up. And if we just go back to agency home, we've added a lot more to this page to kind of show off functionality. So you'll see there's a lot of sections on here. You probably would want to create a new page or start removing them, but again, totally editable. But there's some things we've done on here for dynamic content. So a lot of it will be static content like this. But then if we go to a specific section, testimonials, for example, that's pulling in from the testimonial module here. So that's pulling 3 people in, and as always, you can edit the content without having to leave, which is really nice. Then if we go a little bit further down, static pricing sections in there. This is FAQs, and you'll see then we've mapped that to the FAQ module. Again, you can edit the content, nice and easy to remember for customers. Then this is blog, so pulling from the blog module. And then a little bit further down, we have e-commerce, just an example of e-commerce. Occasionally, just might have to click a couple of times or click back, and we'll obviously look at that if there is a bug. And yes, some e-commerce settings that you can control as well, but that's a layout. So to get these purple ones, if it wasn't clear, you just go to section library, you go to dynamic, all the purple ones are dynamic essentially, and then you'd pick, e-commerce list view, cart view, whatever it might be, and insert. So that's what this is. And then you've got the settings on the right. So you should be able to build out pretty complex sites. Obviously we'll do secure zone stuff as well. We'll keep updating this template until it has everything in it. It'd be a demo site. This one here, I think that's all static content for now. Let's just look here. So we've got a form, again, that's dynamic, and it's pulling from contact form 1. So if you updated any of the fields in contact form, in the contact form, which just has an ID of 1, then this would automatically update. And if we just scroll down the live page, when we were previewing it, you kind of see half like an iPad mobile view because the screen width was lower, but we could just have a little flip through with all the animations, all content. Got some nice animations, and scroll like this. Those images are being fixed before we do the release. Just keep going. Just some nice whole range of sections and functionality and interactivity that you can use. These should move around. There we go. If you hover on them, they stop. If you off them, they move. Then some filters as well that you can use. Pricing tables. This isn't real, by the way. It's just dummy content for anybody asking. And FAQs, that is pulling from the database as we saw. Then we've got blog. Another blog layout, but we're using it to show kind of guides. Another testimonial one, e-commerce, just other features, team, call to action, and then the contact one and the footer. So yeah, quite a lot there to start with. You can edit either content. So if you were in the page, you can use either AI or you can fill this in. But if you hit the AI button, you can ask Sid to change content. All of this content and imagery was generated by Sid. I've done it. I've asked him to do it, but Sid has gone through and updated all those images. So with things like this, that image is here. You'll see it's in a folder called Library, StudioKit, AI, and then it'll typically put it in the name of the page. Some of these a bit when the page was called home, but you'll see it will put a fairly descriptive title in and upload all of these images. So these images do exist. It's not like it's linking off somewhere else. It's fully set up and ready to go. And obviously if you've got, if you're on the new stack, then you've got Cloudflare optimization on top as well. So you can achieve really good results and not even have to do it yourself. So yeah, recommend trying out Sid if you haven't already. It's great for putting together maybe a wireframe mock-up for a customer and then you want them to go and edit their content themselves. Totally up to you. But whatever you ask it to do, it should do pretty accurately. I said focus on kind of agency web dev content. Yep, I think that hopefully covers everything. This is a huge release in terms of what's changed behind the scenes. We've had to work on a lot of backwards compatibility as well, so that if you're still on the old kind of themes without library structure, that all works as normal, but we would recommend upgrading to the new libraries method. It's very simple to do. We can assist with it, so just get in touch if you want to do that. But yes, a big thank you to the team. There's been a lot of work involved on this. Yeah, lots of updates coming, and I'm sure we'll get feedback with lots of ideas on what to include as well. So yeah, please do give it a spin and let us know your thoughts. Thanks.